not coming, but I know a change gon' come. Oh, yes, it
Hi,
will.
my name is Emmanuel Smith, and I am going to speak on a topic that I think is not talked about enough. I personally have experienced this topic all my life. Um, I think many people say that they have someone in their family that does this very thing. And I don't think people understand it enough to know what to do and how to help that person or people. So the topic is stuttering and stammering. Um, and I'm going to talk about my own personal experiences, good, bad, and whatnot. And so it all, well, first, I'm going to give some education on it. So, um, I used to think that stuttering was hereditary. That, hey, my auntie did it, my daddy kind of did it. So that means, hey, I'm supposed to do it also. But stuttering has a lot to do with your speech development as a child. It's not nothing passed down. And let's speak on that for a quick second. Hereditary is based on what's in your DNA. Like, let's say there's a disease that is passed down through your blood. Now, that's hereditary. You cannot stop that, fix that, maybe not. Uh, but to say um, behavior is passed down, so as a baby, you're destined to be or have this behavior. Uh, I can't totally agree with that. As a child has not know anything. A baby, you're just born. You don't know nothing, really. Your parent or your guardian or whoever has you, they have to teach you. We learn by sight, by hearing, by doing. So, um, baby cannot be like this or like that until they develop into that. Let's say that your parents they were thieves, like professional. You know. Now, if those parents, if they expose you to that, they showed you how to do it. They trained you the lingo, how to act, how to do it. Then it's still not hereditary. It's cultivated. It's something that you have learned, that you have picked up on. And so, yeah. Anyway, back to me. So, stuttering, which I've read some books, I've seen some videos, I've really dove into it, and it is not hereditary. Um, your speech development as a child has everything to do with if you are going to stutter or not. In my case, uh, most parents they want their child to speak great, So when you say things backwards or you spell backwards or whatever, you're taught that, oh man, that's so wrong. Don't do that. That's not the right way to speak. Now, that's good and it can be bad how much pressure you put on that child. So I think in my case, the pressure was put on me uh, to to speak per to speak perfectly, and so I had a couple of things not going good in my corner. First of all, my mom, she taught me how to speak. You know, I I heard her speaking every day. She taught me, hey, English, how you speak like this, you say it this way. And so subconsciously, I didn't, well, consciously, I didn't think anything was wrong with that, which is kind of not. But my mom talked, and she still does, she talks very fast. And so, because my speech had some glitches in it, me trying to talk very fast causes me to stutter. Well, it caused me to stutter, and so I so yeah, that that's the first. That is the first thing is that it's not hereditary. It's something that's developed, um, and it has to do with your speech. The see, I'm trying to talk fast right now, and I'm stumbling over my words. So anyway, so my mom she talk very fast, and so me I'm emulating her speech, and so I wasn't taught. Well, my mom did say, "Hey, slow down, take your time." But as a child, I am emulating her speech, so it's kind of hard to tell me to slow down when you speak fast. So, and as a child, you don't know things are not okay or they're they're wrong until someone tells you that. I didn't think nothing was wrong with my speech. I just thought, hey, I'm talking, yeah, I know. Until I started to go to school, and children are horrible for this, but it happens all the time. If someone is different, um, they're put on display as if it's bad. So let's say a person has an arm that's shorter than the other and is very noticeable. You know, children will pick at them as if they can help how they are, you know. So the same thing happened to me. So what I see as as I, what I see as being normal is now being pointed out as something's wrong with me. Uh, my speech is not like everybody else because the children are picking on me, and I'm like, what did I do? You know, I can't help how I speak. You know, and so yeah, children would copy how I talk, and then it have, and then others would join in and say, and so at first it's like I'm kind of confused because I haven't been taught that my speech is has stuck, you know. So I'm the type of person I would say I started off as an extrovert. I like to talk. I like my friends and I like to hang out and stuff. So at first I'm still trying to talk and I don't see it as a problem. And so what happened was that it was, I remember this day. It seemed like I was picked on every hour on the hour. Cause you know, when you're in school, you're asked to to say a sentence or come and give a report and you know just different things. And so for a normal child, oh, I wish you a child might be nervous or whatever. I had a different type. I was not so much nervous. I began to develop anxiety because I'm not thinking of, oh man, I'm kind of nervous. No, my mind is set on how will I say this S word, this W word, this F word, you know. So it ain't about being nervous. It was all about being embarrassed. Me being embarrassed because I don't speak perfectly, you know. So I have to try harder. Anyway, so this particular day, I think I was picked on from the morning time till the evening time. I mean, it just did not let up. So I went home crying, bawling my eyes out because I'm upset. I'm embarrassed. I'm just angry, and I'm like, why do I talk like this? Why can't I talk perfectly like everybody else? So I go home. I'm crying. I tell my mama, I was just picked on all day. Why do I talk like this? Why can't I stop talking like this? Why can't I stop stuttering? And so my mom, you know, um, she just told me, son, don't worry about what others have to say. Their opinions do not matter. Just take your time and slow down. So it went in one ear and out the other. I was very concerned about what people thought about me whenever I would talk. And I think after that moment, I think I was probably in maybe third grade, second grade, something like that. And after that, I believe I became an introvert publicly. Meaning, if I'm around a group of people, a lot of people, I, I will not express myself like I would normally do. And so this goes on, and now I'm very conscious of my speech, my stuttering. And even though my mom said, "Hey, take your time, slow down," that was hard for me to do because um I'm with my mom. She talks fast. I'm trying to slow down, but in my my mind is trained to speak quickly, and society teaches you to speak quickly. You know, someone call your name, you have to say your name. When a teacher calls your name, you have to read off this paragraph, you know. And so, oh man, school just became. I would absolutely hate when they would uh when we had reading class. And so this is what I would literally do. A lot of my friends from back in the day do not know what was going on in my mind, but oh my goodness, I did not know how to call it. I did not know to say that, you know, it's anxiety, it's whatever. But I definitely had anxiety. I was stressed out. Who knows what my what my blood pressure really was. Because if we had to read out loud, this is what I would do. I would count the paragraphs that we had to do up until when it came to me. Um, I would I would look at the book and say, oh, okay, it's 10 people before me. So I would count it and I would go, okay, so this right here is going to be my paragraph. So I go, okay, there's a S here, there's a W here, there's a, oh man, I'm gonna be stuttering all over this. And so up on, as it got closer to me speaking out my paragraph, oh my goodness, the anxiety would just be so strong. And so then when it came to, hey, let's say I had to say, Harry had a huddle lamb. And so I was start off, Ma- Mary, like, oh, let me break down what I can compare stuttering to. Stuttering is like a machine gun. You can't, once it starts, you cannot stop it until it's done. And I would say stammering is kind of like if you're trying to play football. And so the person throws the football and getting you you are getting ready to catch it, but you can't hold on to the ball. It just keeps on. You can't catch it. So with stammering, you can still talk, but you just kind of fumble your words a little bit. But stuttering is on a whole other level. So this is why I say I don't stutter now. I just stammer. And to go from stuttering to stammering, it's a guide because I did not think that I would ever be. First of all, being on the telephone sidebar, answering the phone. First of all, I had a high voice until I was probably like 15 or 16. So, first of all, when people would call my house, they thought first they thought I was a girl. So that's one strike. Then I would stutter through the whole conversation. So I hated to answer the phone. I could not say my name. This is how bad I stuttered. It was horrible. So, and to be in front of a camera like I am now, I could have never did this as a teenager or a young adult. Never. I would be petrified. So the fact that I'm sitting here and people might point out, he messed up right there. He he messed up over here. But if you heard me talk as a child, as a teenager, as a young adult, it would go, wow, he has come a long way. He has really worked on his speech because I remember, and some people from my old school and church, they can tell you this dude used to stutter. Like he could not get a sentence out. Someone had to finish the sentence for me, which, by the way, is not cool. Please, a person that stutters, they have worked so hard to get words out. And for you to come and help them does not help them. Tell, if anything, tell that person that stutters, hey, take your time, take a breath, slow down. Say what you are going to say in your mind. That helps. Anyway, so where was I at? I was talking about in class. If you have to speak, I kind of threw my whole story off. Um, but let's start from there. I was in school having a talk. So this is like grade school. So I'm gonna skip some parts. So yeah, that day that I was talk I was just talk ugh. I was just talked about so much that I went home crying, being in class, having to read out loud, so much anxiety, so much stress, just crazy. Oh, I think I know how I stopped there. Answering the phone, and I might like dip in and dip out of stories. So just keep up. So yeah, talking on the phone, being in front of a camera, uh, having to go up in class, even with a group of people, I was still nervous. I was still embarrassed before the embarrassment came, because in my mind, I'm thinking I'm going to mess up. So I'm anticipating it. I'm like, man, I'm gonna be so embarrassed for whatever. Um, and so I would say the most embarrassing moment in my life was 1999, the year that I graduated from high school. So I went to a private Christian school. At the time, I didn't understand why my mom wanted to keep me in private schools, in Christian schools, because I thought, man, going to the prom is fun, and you know, getting picked up on the bus, that's cool, and this and that. But today, I thank my mom for the sacrifices that she made, because private school is not cheap, and we were not rich by no standards. So, um, but she wanted me to know Christ all throughout school. So even if she's not there to teach me, she knows that, at this school, yeah, and every school has their issues and problems, and everybody is not perfect. But the fact that Christ was always the center of the schools that I went to, I thank her. Now, back to the most embarrassing moment. It was graduation. I believe it was the first uh the first day. So I some schools they do this. They will have 3 days of a graduation. The first day might be called commencement, or I don't know all the terms, but the first day your family comes, and because this school was out of town, so my mom and my friends and my and my family, they had to come from out of town to come to my graduation. So I'm talking too fast. So it was 3 days. So it wasn't like, okay, they come, I graduate, we didn't spend all this money for one day. Anyway, so on the first day of the graduation, and it was 3 days, um, my music teacher thought, I don't, was he my music teacher. I don't think he was, but he had some part in the music department or whatever. Anyway, so he I guess they have done this before. Or that could have been the first time that they did it. But anyway, they had each student record themselves on audio, telling their family, friends how much they appreciate them, etc., etc. So, guess what was going to be the problem for me? My speech. Because, like I said, I still stuttered as a teenager. I'm about 17 at this time. So before we record anything, I tell the person, listen, I stutter. I don't want to do this at all. My family, they know I love them. I care for them, so they don't need to hear me stuttering over no audio. Somehow this dude convinced me to record myself talking. And see, in my mind, I know there are going to be a lot of people that are going to hear me talk. So the anxiety, the stress, uh the future embarrassment, I can already feel it even before I speak. So he compares me. Hey, it's no. He compares me. It's no big deal. It's da, 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 da. It's not that. It's not hard. Don't tell me that because you don't know or even understand what's going on in my mind and my speech. So we do take one off the rip. I I I I I just wanna, and I'm like, we cannot take this take at all. No. So we do take two. Guess what? The same thing. I I I just want to. We cannot use this take. He's like, hey, just take your time. Da, da, da. Listen, I am. Back then, I didn't know how to take my time, how to take a breath. So the third take, it didn't change. So he said, well, that's it. That's it. He said, yeah, this is it. It's okay. I'm like, no, I begged this dude. I said, please, please do not play this. My family's going to be here. Yeah, they know I stutter, but my classmates, family, and friends, no, do not play this. Please don't. What did he do? He played it. Yeah. Even that day as a child, when I was just talked about, that was not the most embarrassing moment in my life. This right here, this right here was the most embarrassing moment. So we get there, they call my name. And I'm just like, this is not going to be good. I know it. So they gave us flowers to give our parents, family, or whatever. So I get the flowers, and I'm going to pass them out. Play. I all through. I think there was like a minute and a half. throughout the whole thing, I am stuttering, and it's just quiet in this church, and all you hear is me stuttering over big speakers. The most embarrassing moment of my entire life. That sucks so much. And I've stuttered and had other things happen, but that right there, yes, was the most embarrassing. So, um, so I graduate. I turned 19 that same. I was 18 when when I when I graduated, but I turned 19 that same um, at the end of the year. So I just had an epiphany like, man, I'm going to figure this thing out because this is not cool. I have so much to say, and I can't let fear stop me. You know, first time in my life that I thought like this. So I'm like, let me then this is back in the day. So libraries was the internet. so so I go to the library, pick out some books. I come to find out a lot of famous people stuttered. Um, James Earl Jones was one person. Some other people. So as I'm reading this one book, it's about James Earl Jones, and I hope that's the right James because it's like two of them or three of them. Anyway, so he said something that so throughout the book they're giving you tips that these famous people have done to help them to speak better. So James Earl Jones said that what helped him to stop stuttering was to put marbles in his mouth and then talk with the marbles in his mouth. So it kind of forced him to talk slower. And so I'm taking all the tips, right? Even I don't think I did it. And so I'm like, yeah, that's cool, but I don't know. So then the next step was to speak extremely slow. And it said, tell your family, your friends, if you work, tell your boss, your your employees, your fellow employees. Let them know so when you begin to speak very slowly, they will understand that you're working on your speech. And I was like, I can't do that. That makes no it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense because in the world you have to speak like somebody call your name. Da, 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 this is me. Like you have to speak quickly. And so after that I stopped reading the book and was like, you know what? I'm gonna take the tips and steps and I'm gonna keep on doing some research. So at this point in my life, I probably need to one day just talk very very slow, like practice that. Anyway, so I'm 19 and I'm like, man, I have become an introvert, but that's not really my personality. I'm an extrovert. So I came up with the idea, and I truly believe it was the Holy Spirit. It was like, listen. You have to practice speaking. The thing that you're most afraid of, you have to step by step, huddle by huddle, begin to do it until you get that confidence. So it's not you saying, "Well, I stutter, so I'm not going to speak." That's what I. That's what I did. Here's a prime example. Let's say I'm with a group of my friends from uh from church. This is to be continued.
It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gon' come. Oh, yes, it will.